No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. We're going all the way so you can score more for your trade-in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV today. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News, as we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches. The BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out lithiafordboise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
Is going to stay in the game.
Well, greetings, Boise State fans. I don't think the mic's going to be working. Let's try something here. Hopefully you guys can hear us. We may have to do this on the fly, too. Here, plug that in real quick. This is going to be fun.
Store the drive. Oh, what a block. And it's a real ball.
Are we plugged in? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. Should be showing up in a second. Got it? Can you hear us now? Are we live with the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show? Boise State getting ready to take on Corban. Let us know if you can hear us okay. We are dealing with some sound issues here. And, it's one thing after another here. If it's not the sound, then Abe Jackson, it is the video. So sounds like they can hear us okay. Abe Jackson, BJ Rains, we are live at ExtraMile Arena. Never know what's going to work. Sometimes it's the internet. Sometimes it's the camera. Sometimes it's the microphone. So sorry for the short delay there. But we're back in ExtraMile Arena, and we got basketball tonight, Abe.
Yeah. Glad to be back at home after a little bit of I don't know if it was an eye-opening road trip, but a rougher one than probably expected after that first game. So, good to be back against a team that probably should handle pretty easily.
Yes, you would think that they would.
Yes.
And I know it's not about Corban tonight. It's about getting some things fixed from that San Francisco game. I know we talked on the post-game show, but what still stands out to you in terms of what went wrong against San Francisco?
Well, I think there was a couple things. And one, there was not really any production from the 4 or 5 position. And I'm not putting Tyson in that spot. I'm putting him at the 3. But from Omar Stanley and Dylan Anderson, there just wasn't a lot of production from them inside. And you can credit San Francisco for that. They had a 7-foot guy with a over 7-foot wingspan who really controlled the paint. he dominated inside the paint, not just with block shots, but also with really just affecting a bunch of shots. And then secondly, San Francisco got crazy hot in that second half. They were shooting 40%, 4 out of 10 at the 12-minute mark. And then I think at about the 6-minute mark, well, Boise State was up by 3 at that 12-minute mark. And then at about the 6-minute mark, Boise State was down double digits, and San Francisco is up to shooting 68%. They were either 12 out of 13 or 13 out of 14 from the floor in that time frame. So you don't play your best game. The other team gets extremely hot, and that's how you can't come away with a win on the road.
Dylan Anderson only played 13 minutes in that game. He is starting tonight. What do you want to see from Dylan tonight? I think the tallest player that's actually going to play tonight for Corban is like 6'6".
Well, I want to see a little more physicality on rebounds, really holding those box outs. Don't let people get around you. If you're the same size of somebody else, then you should be the one dominating if you have the right floor position. So I think rebounding is going to be huge, because there's not a lot of times that we've seen a Coach Rice basketball team get out-rebounded by 7, and that's what happened to San Fran.
And that's surprising, too, because you're right. I guess you can count the times in the Leon Rice era where that's happened, and it's not very often. That should not be a problem tonight. As I said, the tallest player on Corban is 6'6", but you'd like to see some of the fundamentals and things of going to the glass tonight.
Well, yeah, and I think you schedule a team like this for one reason, and that's to get some guys some experience. And they scheduled tough. You have, at San Francisco, which I think at the end of the season is going to be a solid team. I think San Francisco is going to be pretty competitive in the WCC. And then Washington State, St. Mary's, Clemson here on Sunday. So you scheduled tough. And so this game is so you can get your feet underneath you, get some guys deeper on the bench with some experience, because at San Francisco, Al Cardenas got in foul trouble early on, and then they had to go to their bench with some guards, and those are freshman guards, and it was 0 for 4 from the floor, no points, and 3 turnovers.
I was going to ask you about those guys. I mean, I do think we're going to see Cardenas most games, 35 minutes a night,
sure.
But when he's in foul trouble like he was, I mean, I know they're very high on Chris Lockett and Julian Bowie, but to this point, both those guys have struggled when they've been in there.
Well, they're freshmen, right? I mean, one's a true freshman and one's a redshirt freshman, and there's always a feeling out process with your game. It's rare that you get a freshman like Cooper Flagg coming into your program who is already ready to play at a Division I level and be extremely productive. So that's what's good about this game, is that you can get some of those guys who don't have a lot of D1 experience out there playing in a game in front of fans. Get them in your offense, get them in your defense, and not just look for them to score, but look for them to do what you need them to do. Assist, rebound, defend, not turn the ball over.
What else tonight in terms of, I mean, we feel pretty good about Tyson, 25 in the last game. Omar, I mean, is there anything else in particular that if Boise State wants to quote-unquote get right for Clemson they need to do tonight?
I think it's going to be more on the film that you're going to see. If you're just a fan watching, you're going to see a dominant performance by Boise State against Corban. They should win easily by big-time double digits. But I think when the film is broken down, that's where you're really going to see what this game came down to. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see that. But the coaches are going to be looking for, yes, you could take your guy one-on-one every single time if you wanted to, but that's not what this game's for. This game is to execute plays, execute defense, and rebound. So when you do get up against a team like a Clemson, you're more confident in what you can run, and then you can execute it perfectly.
Abe Jackson, our guest for a couple more minutes. He'll be on the call with Bob Beeler coming up at 6:30 over on 670 KBOI. That's 6:30 for their pregame, 7 o'clock for their broadcast. We appreciate Abe Jackson with the Bronco Radio Network in Learfield for joining us on the pregame show, as we will hopefully for every game the rest of the season here moving forward, I guess except for Sunday, because I'll be flying back and won't be here early enough for the pregame show for the Clemson game. Hopefully a postgame at least for a win there. But 3 of 16, I think it was, from three-point range against San Francisco. I mean, that was one concern I think people had going into the season. You lose Max Rice, you lose Chibuzo Abo. I know we feel that, Andrew Meadow can be that guy, but overall, how do you feel about the outside shooting? And is the 3 of 16 any concern that that's a sign of things to come?
There is a question mark, right? Because you lose 2 of your best shooters, or the 2 best shooters from last season. And how are you going to replace that? I think the Broncos have guys that can knock down the threes. Now, why I'm not really concerned about it is because the shots they were getting against San Francisco, they weren't just jacking up some random threes. They were getting open shots for guys who can knock down threes. Meadow hit one. Tyson Degenhardt had a couple, I think, at the top of the key that he was open and he missed. Cardenas had one in the corner that was open, and these were all during that run where San Fran went 13 of 14. And so the Broncos were running offense pretty well, and then when they got to the place to knock it down, they just weren't going in. So I think that if the offense is there, I'm not worried about them finding threes. Now, whether or not they can knock them down, that's a different story. But it's 2 games in, one great game, one maybe a little subpar game, still not worried.
What do you make of the defense? And that stretch in the second half when San Fran was on fire there, you were there in the building. Were those just tough shots? Was it bad defense? Last 3 years, this has been a top 30 defensive team at KenPom. Can this team do that again?
Yeah, I think they can. Yeah, there was definitely some cuts to the hoop that were wide open during that run for San Francisco. But then out of the 12 or 13 shots that they made, there was probably 5 that were heavily challenged in just tough shots. And you take away, maybe 4 out of 5 of those makes, and instead of being down 12, you're only down 6 or 7. At that point, it could be a different story. But there were some defensive lapses, but there was also San Francisco making some really tough shots.
We're going to talk about this in a few minutes, and I'm going to play the video. But new member on the roster tonight, Brennan Ramirez, a walk-on. You see him over there getting set for his first game of his college career. A manager for 2 years, gets added to the roster as a walk-on. What do you think's going through his mind right now?
This is awesome. This is one of the coolest things that's probably ever happened to me. Someone who's a walk-on and has been a manager first, basketball has probably been part of his life since he was very, very small, either watching it and then playing it at different levels. And then to be able to put a college uniform on, warm up with a university team out there. It's awesome when you're a player and you're on scholarship and that's what you're going to do. But then to be a walk-on and get that opportunity, I'll bet he's just having the time of his life.
Now in hockey, they'll have the rookie go out, first, and then they just stop, and he ends up doing a lap around the ice by himself. It's kind of an initiation thing. I think maybe when they come out for the actual time here in about 15 minutes, they should have him go first and maybe stop at the edge of the tunnel and let him be out there by himself for a few seconds.
Him just do one layup all by himself?
Yeah, why not?
I like that. I don't know if Bob, but when we started my first game, if he just put himself on mute and just let me ramble for a couple minutes. I don't know.
But in this game, you hope you get a big enough. There's not going to be a lot of opportunities. One of the storylines tonight might be trying to get him in the game.
That would be pretty cool. They're expected to win, of course, by heavy amounts, and see him in the game later on. That'd be pretty cool.
Your keys to this game, as we mentioned, Corban itself, not a huge concern. They do have, by the way, 2 sons of Larry Krastowiak, the old Utah coach. He has 2 kids on the team. There's another kid on the team from Oahe, from Oahe High School, from Boise area. But they just don't have the size. We're not expecting this to be a close game tonight. So on the Boise State side, we're not really saying the keys to a win, but just what do you want to see tonight?
Well, I want to see really good execution, not silly turnovers, and just get the shots for the players on the court where you want them to get the ball. That means that you ran your offense well. If you want to have a mismatch inside with Tyson, run your offense and get him the ball there. If you want to set up Cardenas for a 3, run your offense and have that be an open shot for him. Like I said, for the fans, you're going to see a dominant performance. But for the coaches and the film breakdown, that's really where you're going to see the benefit of this game, especially going into Clemson.
Hey, appreciate it. Hopefully we can do it again on the postgame. Going to be a shorter postgame show tonight. I don't know if I need to go an hour and 10 minutes talking about a win over Corban, but we'll see if the timing works out again. Otherwise, we'll definitely talk to you on Sunday. Big game against Clemson.
All right, sounds good, BJ.
Thanks, Abe.
Yep.
There he is, Abe Jackson. He'll be on in about 13 minutes over with Bob Beeler on 670 KBOI. We apologize for some of the issues we're dealing with here with the sound and the video. Hope you can hear us okay. The video looked a little grainy on my end, so I hope it's okay. I'm not really sure what's going on right now, but we're doing the best we can here. Western Collective, our studio sponsor. Check them out. Western Collective, the Horseshoe Golden Ale, and the Orange Chaos Seltzer, both available inside Albertson Stadium and here at ExtraMile Arena. You can also get them at most major local retailers, including Albertsons. Check them out. Western Collective, the Horseshoe Golden Ale, and the Orange Chaos Seltzer. And again, part of the proceeds go to benefit the Horseshoe Collective and Boise State. RoePaint.com, our title sponsor, ROEPaint.com. Check them out. RoePaint.com. ROEPaint.com, our title sponsor. All your painting needs, those concrete coatings, the interior, exterior painting, they can help you out at RoePaint.com. And, of course, Idaho Central Credit Union. Just confirmed with Tyson Degenhart. We'll have a show on Thursday night. Thursday night will be the next episode of the Tyson Degenhart Show, so be ready for that on Thursday night. Okay, you can see the court right there. Again, it looks a little blurry on my end. I hope it's okay for you guys. I apologize. We're doing the best we can with a makeshift setup here. all of a sudden some of the equipment decided to crap out on us. So doing the best we can. We're showing you warm-ups. We're going to hear from our man, Mr. Ramirez, the new walk-on added to the roster. We're going to tell you more about him and hear his story. We're going to hear from Leon Rice as well. And, again, in 7 minutes when this Kansas-Michigan State game ends, we're going to show you guys the college football playoff rankings, or at least we'll tell them to you and talk about them. So that should be at in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so. We will have the college football playoff rankings, hopefully while we're still on the pregame show here. So we're excited and hoping that we are able to do that. But we will keep showing you the warm-ups, but let's hear from Leon Rice, the Boise State head coach. Obviously, they lost to San Francisco, but they're trying to bounce back. Get your comments, your score predictions in, where you're watching from, all that good stuff, and we'll get to those shortly here. But here's Leon Rice on the loss to San Francisco and what they want to see tonight.
Look at the film. What stands out from the San Francisco game?
Well, we knew they were a really good team, and they had that game circled, and they're probably prepared for us during the summer, and we were going to have to play an A game, and I think maybe they took the punch to us a few times more than we took the punch to them. And you got to give them credit. Like, they made some tough shots, and we just didn't make them uncomfortable enough. And that's why you play these good opponents, and then having to learn about the road. And so it was some of our freshmen. It was some of their first time in a road environment in college basketball. It's a big difference. I went back and told them about some of these guys that went on to be great players of some of their first experiences. Tyson didn't score a point his first 3 games maybe and became freshman of the year. So obviously, there's a learning curve and all that, but there's a learning curve always for a team. And, we made a great run in the second half, took the lead, and then didn't get a stop for a long time. And that's not like us. You gotta be able to hang your hat, not whether the ball goes in or not. Our hat, we hang it on the ability to get stop after stop. Doesn't matter if we're missing shots, whatever, but we can get stops with our defense, and we didn't do that.
I know you say it's sometimes never as good as it seems, never as bad as it seems.
Right.
After that first game, people were ready to crown you national champions, it seemed like.
Yeah, exactly. And there were some great things, but that's this part of the season, and that's the courage to go on the road early. The teams that are doing that are smart, and it's hard because you don't want to put yourself out there like that in a tough environment. You look at Baylor. They went and got beat by 40. By 40. I'm not exaggerating, right? And then they went and beat a really good Arkansas team and bounced back, and it's going to make them better. And then, we go out and play a really good San Francisco team, and we're right there. We're up 50-47, and stuff that we're going to learn from it, the stuff we're going to, we never accept that. We know we don't do it for that. We do it to go compete in a road environment, because that's what you got to be able to do to win your league, is to be able to go do stuff on the road in tough environments against teams that are ready to play, and that's how you learn. And you don't have to learn through losing. I'm not saying that, but you learn from playing good opponents, and we've stacked a lot of them, in great succession. So away we go.
Is there anything specific you did learn between game 1 and game 2 about your players, especially going on the roads, losing, how they reacted?
Yeah, just all the things that it takes to win on the road. It's always interesting, because not only what it does to you, but what it does to your opponent playing at home. With the confidence that they play with, and the crowd giving them energy and all those things. Because a lot goes into that. I mean, one of the hardest things in sports is winning a college basketball game on the road at a good, against a good team.
How did it come about with offering the roster spot to Brennan?
Oh yeah, isn't that great? He earned it. And they had this crazy rule that I guess made it for baseball, I think, where if you were a manager, you could not become a player, because I guess baseball was stacking a bunch of managers and turning them into players. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
And so we had to appeal, first of all. And then, when he came here, this was his lifelong dream, to be on the roster. And he, I gave him some things to, if you can shoot more shots than Andrew Meadow in the summer, that shows me something. And he did, which is phenomenal. I mean, you have to shoot till your fingers bleed to shoot more than Andrew. And, but he's also, we have a thing in our culture where becoming a star in your role and your role changes. And this dude swept the sheds for 2 years for us and did it with pride and meant so much. The program meant so much to him, and he wanted this to be with these guys on the team, and the team wanted him. And so for him to earn it, it was pretty special for me to be able. I didn't give it to him; he earned it.
So had that been like kind of in the works? Was that a total surprise when you gave him? We saw the video, obviously, that you presented to him and told him he was on. Was that something that he was hoping was about to happen?
Yeah, he didn't know the NCAA had ruled finally.
Okay.
And we had it as a surprise, so he did not know. In fact, he was helping with some scout team stuff, and I pretended like, you need to make sure you're in film paying attention tomorrow because you didn't have so he thought he didn't think that was coming. It was fun.
I know you've given guys scholarships and stuff before, but I don't know if you've ever had a situation like this, but we saw the video and how the team reacted when you pulled out the jersey.
Yeah.
Like, what, for you and all these years of coaching, where does that rank in terms of cool moments for you?
Yeah, because, I've known B-Man, as we call him. I know him really, really well. And I knew how much it meant to him. I knew how much it meant to his teammates. I knew all that. And so for me to be able to be in that position to get to be the guy that gave him the jersey, because like I said, I didn't give it to him. He earned it, and I was just the guy that got to hand the jersey. But it was pretty special when you see guys, their dreams come true, and how much this program means to him. And it was great for the other guys to see that, because they know how selfless he is, how he serves the team, the culture, the work ethic, all the things that he pours into us, and gets no glory for it. To have that moment is pretty special.
So in a perfect world, 30 seconds left tomorrow night, would you love to get him in there if you could? Or?
The moment he's cleared, I'd love to. I can't make any promises, and like I said, I'm always figuring out for the team, but I know the guys would love that.
Do you know when he'll be cleared? I guess what's the process?
I'm not sure today. I don't know the status 100% yet.
What do you see from Corban? And I guess just everyone's already thinking about Sunday's game, but you got one tomorrow night too.
No, this is great. We need another one right now because, we've been in a lot of tight situations and a lot of good games already, considering our two, scrimmages, and then, Oakland created some. I know the outcome looks like it was a breeze, but that zone had us, paying attention, and that program had us paying attention. I got so much respect for Campy, and they were a possession away from the Sweet 16 last year, and that program knows how to win, and so that had our attention big time. And and then San Francisco obviously did too, and so this game is, it's about how hard we play and how us taking another step, not the opponent. And, I want our crowd to come out and support it. And, that's what's been cool about football. I mean, we sold out Portland State game. Like, it's there to support the Broncos and watch them do what they do and get better. And, hopefully we get a great crowd tomorrow night to support us and watch these guys grow.
Yeah, in the moment, like you said, it's nice to have this game in between before Clemson. Further back when you're pulling this schedule together, I guess what's the decision behind playing Corban and playing an NAIA team? I guess how beneficial is it to you guys?
I'm so sorry. I gotta apologize because the whole time your accent is so cool. I can't even hear what you're saying. I'm like, that'd be cool. I wish I had an accent. So I guess. Can you paraphrase your question?
I guess why schedule NAIA team on the schedule?
Yeah, that's a long, complicated answer because there's only a certain amount of money you have, and to get home games for our crowds, to get games where I got a lot of guys that don't get enough minutes that they they deserve, and you need some minutes out there. Like I said, these freshmen have not got to play. There's been a lot of constraints on them, and I told him the story about you look at Steph Curry, his first game he had 12 turnovers, right? Okay. We were talking about Tinsley, his first game he had 14 turnovers or something, and then the freshmen need that ability to go out and have some freedom and play through some things and just get comfortable. And you do that in practice, sure, but you do that, in a game at San Francisco, it can cost your team the game. So to have a game like this where maybe you can work through some stuff a little bit and work through some lineups, work through some guys having success, and just getting more comfortable here and with the lights on, scoreboard on, all the things that come with the home game. It just gives to go get a Division I team, it costs 20 times that amount. And so, it's a great deal for these non-ones, to be able to come and play a team like us and the Division I program, and it helps them in a lot of ways. So it's a win-win-win. But your program's arrived when your fans really come out for those games, because we did this at Gonzaga every year, and those would be sold out, and the crowd would be rocking, and it'd be great. And so they're important. These are important games, and the outcome's not guaranteed. You got to go play, and you got to get better at stuff, and you got to you got to approach it the right way and everything.
So just with that being said, for fans who do come and watch, any freshmen or any guys who they might not be too familiar with, who they may
I think we don't have an unlimited roster. It's pretty right out there in front of you, and so you know who they are. I guess the only one would be B-Man. Yeah.
Is everybody health-wise after a week?
Great. We're knock on wood. We've been blessed there, no doubt about it. That was a physical game, both teams were playing a high. I watched a lot of games in this last week, and I thought both of the teams at San Francisco, I felt like, wow, that San Francisco team could have beat a lot of teams on that night, especially the way they shot it. And they have a tendency to do that at home. They got veteran guards. We played against Marcus Williams. How about that? We beat him at Wyoming. We beat him at A&M. We beat him last year at San Francisco. That's the new reality of college basketball, is you're playing the same guy at 3 different schools. Isn't that crazy? And for it seems like 10 years too.
We're about to do that with Xavier Bussell and
his third Mountain West team. It's nutty. It's like, Marcus gave me a hug after the game, and I'm like, where do I see you next year? I guess. I don't know.
There he is, Leon Rice. All right, like I said, one of those days, had the wrong headset on there. There's Leon Rice, and you see the court behind us. Corban is out there warming up. Boise State is headed back to the locker room for a couple of minutes. Dylan Cooper up in Section 12. How we doing, Dylan Cooper? If you're still listening, I'm waving at you. Dylan, good to see you over there in Section 12. Other folks, if you're in the arena, let us know where you're at. We'll give you a shout-out. Again, we're looking for score predictions. We're looking for where you're watching this game from, your thoughts on this game, this team. We got our man Hayden, by the way. Let me get Hayden on here for a second. All right, Hayden, take this. Actually, give Hayden this one here. All right, here's Hayden. Hayden, how we doing, man?
Hey, what's up?
All right, you're kind of behind the bar here, but you were watching the show on your phone, and you came over and said you wanted to get on the show.
Yep. I just want to say that I love Boise State. I've always been a fan of Boise State.
And you obviously like BNN, I guess.
Yep, always watching.
What grade are you in?
8th grade.
8th grade. Where do you go to school at?
Victory Middle School.
Do you play some basketball?
Yep, basketball.
Well, who's your favorite player?
Probably Tyson Degenhart.
Perfect, man. Well, hey, we really appreciate you, man, for watching. Enjoy the game, and send me an email. Have your parents email me or something sometime. We'll see if we can get you some tickets to another game maybe.
Yep, thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Yep, thank you.
There he is. Appreciate you, Dylan.
Thank you.
Yep, Hayden. That was Hayden. And that's cool to have Hayden. Robbie Robinson basically right behind you. Where's Robbie at? There he is. Look at Robbie giving us the wave right there. There he is. That's awesome. Oh, we got fans all over the place having fun tonight. Logan is at the quad. Let's see. Todd says 97-43. That would be quite the blowout. You know what? You're probably about right, to be honest with you, Todd. Did they announce ticket sales for tonight? They have not, but there are fans in the third deck, so it'll probably be they'll announce, 9 or 10,000 again, but I'll bet you there's 4 or 5,000 here tonight. But good news, you can see the video board is working. They have the ribbon boards on. There will be an intro video tonight. The band is also here, so we actually will have an actual atmosphere tonight for this game against Corban. So we are waiting for the conclusion of this Duke-Kansas game, which is getting closer to being over. Sorry, Duke, Kentucky's in the next game. Kansas and Michigan State are playing right now. Is the game over yet? We're trying to get this game over with so we can get you your college football playoff rankings. 72-66 is the score right now. Kansas is up by 6. What do you know? The Vegas point spread was 6, and the game's right there with 45 seconds left. Let's see here. Garrett says Southeast Texas. Go Broncos. What's up, Garrett? Appreciate you for tuning in. Benson has 9th grade tryouts tomorrow morning for basketball. Benson, let it fly. Good luck. Hope you nail some long ones, and good luck, Benson. Hope you make your team, man. That's pretty cool. We're waiting for Boise State to retake the floor here. This was a little bit earlier. Boise State getting some shots up. Again, if you got a score prediction for us, if you got a comment on the game, your thoughts, what you're thinking the college football playoff ranking is going to be, let us have that as well. There's 36 seconds left. Kansas is up 73-66 right now in this game. So we can get this game over with, and we can get to the college football playoff rankings, and then Boise State. And let's hear from Brennan Ramirez. You know what? Let's hear from Brennan Ramirez. He is the walk-on that made the team. While we're waiting for this game to end, let's hear from Brennan Ramirez, the walk-on. He was a student manager for 2 years, and just got added to the team. Let's hear from him.
How's that make you feel?
Amazing. I can't. It's unreal. It's still surreal to me. It's awesome.
How hard have you been wanting something like this?
I can't even describe it. It's been a long time coming. Obviously, I've been a manager for 2 years. Here at Boise State, I love this program more than anything. Ever since I came here, I didn't think something like this would even be possible. One thing led to another, and after this summer happened and went through that, the opportunity kind of presented itself, and I was given a chance to walk on, but then got some news that the NCAA made a rule that managers can't be on the team, and so we had to file a waiver for that, and it all came together and it happened. And I can't even describe to you how I feel. It's still kind of sinking in. Been working for this for so long. My family, everyone, so excited because they know how hard I've wanted it and how bad I've wanted it. So it's awesome.
What's your background? Where did you play high school? What has brought you to this moment?
I'm from Redding, California. It's a small town. It's super north in California, almost Oregon. Both my parents teach at the high school there. My dad played Division I at Utah State and Sac State. Kind of funny that he played there. But my parents have been together since high school, so I grew up in a very just close-knit family. Spent 4 years at that high school. Went through my years there, got some smaller looks, NAIA schools. But my best friend wanted to come here, and so our older brothers actually went to college together. And I wanted to be a part of something bigger, a bigger program, obviously. And I think that was, it was such a hard decision to not go play basketball but pursue a management position, because I still wanted to play, obviously, but I knew God had bigger plans for me, and it led me this way. And I wanted to be with my best friend because our older brothers obviously went to school together, and his older brother passed away at the age of 21. And I feel like I needed to be with him here. And so I took that leap of faith and I came here and got the position as a manager and just kept working. It's all coming full circle, so it's awesome.
Andrew Meadow told us he took 50,000 shots in the summer, and we just heard that you had to take more than him. How many shots do you think you put up this summer?
I only beat him by about 1,500, but it was close. Meadow works his butt off each and every day. My goal was to, stick with him throughout the summer. I remember talking to Coach Rice. I told him the first week that we had the shooting program that I was going to beat Meadow this week, and he said impossible. So I kind of took that as a little bit of a challenge, and I just set my standard a little bit higher, and each week I just try to beat Meadow because he puts up a lot of shots. He has an unbelievable work ethic, and he pushed me even harder than I could have imagined. And so I think I ended up beating him by around 1,500. But without him working each and every day, I wouldn't be here where I am today, because that kind of showed the coaching staff how bad I want this position and how hard I'm willing to work for it.
What percentage do you think you made?
Overall, I think I shot around 50. Three-pointers, it was a little lower, obviously, because it's a little harder to shoot the three. I tried to get up a lot of three-pointers, but obviously just worked around the key on the mid-range. The shooting machine got a lot of work this summer between him and I. I think it broke at the end of the summer. So, yeah, I made around that. So.
We hear that teams have student managers and get experience on the team, but what kinds of stuff were you doing for this team these last couple of years, all the dirty work?
A lot of days. Just anything the coaches needed, anything the players needed, I was there. Whether that be, putting laces in shoes, getting the shoe bag ready for the trip, loading stuff, getting the play cards ready for Coach Duryea. Pretty much anything they needed. I think, kind of funny, but I think over the past 2 years I mounted about 30 players' TVs. Just kind of doing anything. Obviously them helping me out and me helping them out. So anywhere I was needed, I was trying to just fill that role, cleaning the locker room at night, just doing the little things that weren't necessarily seen in the time, but at the end, they took knowledge to it and they saw that work ethic. So
what's that tomorrow? I mean, you just thought about running out of the tunnel with the team, what that's going to be like, and then sitting on the end of the bench now knowing hey, there's an opportunity that could point at me to go in. Never know. Corban tomorrow.
Yeah,
are you hoping to
sure.
get some run right away tomorrow night?
I'll take whatever they give me, obviously, but I'm just more so excited to just run out with the team. Obviously, I just got cleared, just got my blood work back, so that's going to be an extraordinary feeling. I'm not really sure how I'm going to feel. I'm obviously nervous. I've been dreaming of that for a couple of years now, just watching the team run out every game day, wanting that. Aching for that, and just finally making that happen. Obviously with my parents watching on the TV, they were able to make the last 2 games, so I was able to share that moment when I got the jersey with them, which was amazing. But just running out, it's going to be surreal with some of my best friends on this basketball team. I love this team, so I'm excited to run out with them tomorrow.
Just what was it like in the moment when you found out? Coach said you had to come watch film because you're doing scout team stuff, and it really tricked you into it. What was that moment like?
It completely caught me off guard. Obviously, I've been waiting for it, but I've been trying not to get my hopes up on that decision. Coach the day before was getting on me. My defense wasn't the greatest on scout team, so he was getting on me. The following day, he told me I need to come in the film room and watch some film to get better at the defense the other team was going to be running. So I went in there kind of not really knowing, thought I was just going to be watching film, and then he presented me with the jersey, and I think everything in my body just kind of slowed down. I couldn't move. It was an experience I'll never forget. Giving Coach a hug after, and all the teammates coming around, gathered around me. It was just amazing. It's been awesome. So.
All right, we are back, and they're getting ready to get the college football playoff rankings underway, so we'll keep you updated on that. We are live here on the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show. Boise State getting set to take on Corban. Get your score predictions in. Get your thoughts in on that. Hey, Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, as we wait for them to unveil the rankings here any moment. We'll bring those to you live. Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Raines family bought and sold our home using Matt, and it was a tremendous experience. Super easy, really enjoyed it. And again, I know everyone has 5 friends that are realtors, but I highly recommend you go with Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. Ridley's Family Markets, we just confirmed with Mark Ridley that we're going to do the contest again, the private jet trip for 2 to a road game. We're going to pick a game, and let you know and get that going here soon. But all paying subscribers will be eligible to win. So get in now if you want to subscribe and win the trip for 2 on the private jet. And we'll tell you more about that here moving forward. We are 3 minutes away from the reveal of the CFP rankings. Their timer says 3 minutes. They will do the top 25. So check out Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Snake River Pool and Spa, thespateam.com, Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. They've been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. Check them out, Snake River Pool and Spa, patio and game, whether it's a spa, whether it's a hot tub, whether it's a sauna, whether it's a pool table. They got you, Snake River Pool and Spa. Lithia Ford of Boise, lithiafordboise.com. Check them out as well. Again, we're about 2 minutes away from the CFP rankings. We'll bring those to you live here on Bronco Nation News. LithiaFordBoise.com. Check them out, LithiaFordBoise.com. All their vehicles are available online, LithiaFordBoise.com. And again, they've got some great deals right now. The F-150s, the Mach-E Mustang, electric Mustangs, the Lightning. Check them out online, LithiaFordBoise.com. TacoBellWorks.com. We're going to be there Thursday morning. John Mallory and I are going to be live from the Taco Bell on Broadway. Come by and we'll buy you breakfast. TacoBellWorks.com. You can get more information. You can sign up for a job. The great Bob Berry in the house walking by. Seen a lot of people we know here tonight. Still going to end up being an okay crowd despite the playing Corban. But check out TacoBellWorks.com. I know the Nicolason family will be here. Stan Nicolason, Stephen Nicolason, SON Management. TacoBellWorks.com, and we'll see you Thursday morning at the Taco Bell on Broadway. We are 90 seconds from the college football playoff reveal. Get your final rankings and predictions in. Where's Boise State going to be? Do they stay at 12? Do they drop to 13? Do they drop to 14? What do the rankings look like? Get your final predictions in right now. We'll tell you in 90 seconds what's going on. Transportation Compliance Service. Check them out, transcomservice.com. They can help you get into the trucking industry every step of the way. Transcomservice.com, whether it's a DOT overweight permits, they got you covered. Transcomservice.com. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorange.store.com. Check them out as well, the Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorange.store.com. And again, all the Ashton Genty gear, they got it at the Blue and Orange Store. So make sure you check out our friends at theblueandorangestore.com. Jackson's, 91 cents. If Hassanin gets a sack on Saturday, you get a 91-cent coffee or fountain drink. And I think we might get this one too, the Breezy Bundle. Breezy Dubar gets a touchdown. You get a hot dog and a soda for $1 on Tuesday, and I think that may happen against San Jose State. We talked to him. That interview's up online. You can check that out at Jackson's. And again, 25 cents from every hot dog sold goes to help the Horseshoe Collective. Speaking of food, how about Lean Feast? I'm down 13 pounds, folks, and it's due to Lean Feast. So leanfeastmeridian.com. Check them out, leanfeastmeridian.com. 10,000-plus healthy meal combinations, and they deliver anywhere in the Treasure Valley, leanfeastmeridian.com. Signature Roofing, I want some post-game voicemails. I'm by myself on the post-game show. You got your 20 minutes when the game ends, so please, let's get some voicemails in. Help me out here. Speakpipe.com/BNN. After the game, get a voicemail in. And again, Signature Roofing, re-roofs, estimates, inspections. They can help you out. Repairs, mysignatureroofing.com. Check them out. Signature Roofing. They're a great local roofing company. They do great work. Check them out. As a heads up, Riley and Rid has been pushed to tomorrow. It'll be at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock tomorrow. We'll start it off with Ball Talk with Sanford and Johnny at a new time tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And then 8 o'clock will be Riley and Rid. And that'll be tomorrow here on Bronco Nation News. All right, we are live. You see the players warming up. I just realized they're going to have the national anthem right when we're doing the rankings here. So this is not ideal timing-wise. I may have to just whisper really quiet to let folks know what's going on. But the college football playoff rankings are getting ready to be revealed. And, yes, Kansas did win. And Kansas won by 8, and the spread was 6. So, Robbie, you may have seen me pumping a fist here on press row. And, that may have been because they won by the number that counted. Let's just say that, Robbie. So, appreciate you back there for watching. All right, Tulane coming in at 25. That's a little bit of a surprise there. Tulane is in at 25 to start off the college football playoff rankings. How about that? Army at 24, so they both move up a spot. Tulane now makes it in, but Army is still the highest ranked at undefeated. That's an interesting development now that Tulane is in there. They're 8-2, but both their losses are against Power 5 teams, I believe. All right, I got to be quiet here. I'm going to try to whisper this. They're doing the national anthem, so I got to be quiet here for a second, folks.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we marched were so gallantly gleaming. And the rockets red the gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, there's your national anthem. How about Washington State? They're up to number I did stand up. Somebody was telling me to stand. I stood up there and had my hand on my heart. The rankings are being revealed. We're up to number 17, which is Colorado. Washington State is 18. So Washington State comes in at number 18 in the rankings. That helps Boise State. They move up 3 spots. So Boise State has a win over the number 18 ranked team, Washington State. Colorado is 17. Kansas State is 16. So that's obviously something to keep in mind here as well, as Boise State tries to get higher ranked in that Big 12, the top Big 12 team. That's BYU right now. Texas A&M only goes down 1 spot. They are at number 15. This is where it starts to get interesting. And, yeah, very nice national anthem there by the security guy. This is where it starts to get a little interesting. Texas A&M at 15. I could see Boise State being 14. I could see Boise State being 13. We'll see what they end up doing here with the rankings. They're on to number 14 right now. And, again, I wish I could show you this. I can't. I apologize. But the second team out, number 14 in the ranking, is still SMU. SMU comes in at 14. And then we'll find out right here if Boise State gets dropped down 1 spot to 13. I assume they will with Ole Miss moving up. Boise State is 13. So Boise State comes in at number 13, and they do go to the number 12 seed. But Boise State, as expected, drops 1 spot to number 13 in the rankings. They got passed up by Ole Miss, and we'll see what happens here. But Boise State is number 13 in the college football playoff rankings. They do drop a spot. And that is in part because of nothing changes, though. Nothing changes. They dropped to number 13, but they still get that number 12 seed. So they're still in the same spot they were in last time, but certainly, a more impressive game. And how about Georgia? Georgia drops all the way to number 12. Georgia now is number 12, and they're out of the tournament. So Georgia is down 12, but they would be out of the tournament as of right now. That's crazy. Maybe I guess if they beat Tennessee, they'll move them up. But if Georgia loses to Tennessee, they are not going to be in the college football playoff. That's a pretty big development for me to see Georgia all the way down to number 12. That's crazy. So I didn't think they'd be that low with only the 2 losses. But we'll see who they have ahead of them at number 11. But Georgia is, even though they're 12, they're out because Boise State is 13 and gets the guaranteed spot. So Georgia's still 1 spot ahead of Boise State. Ole Miss makes the jump to number 11. Ole Miss jumps all the way to number 11. They jump in front of Georgia. Ole Miss is your number 11 team in the college football playoff rankings. And, again, they're moving pretty slow here on this show. They're milking this, so I apologize. I'm sure you are all probably watching it on your TV, and this isn't that exciting for you. But I was trying to keep this going as long as we can here. The teams are back in the locker room. They are not out yet. Crowd filing in, 7 minutes on the clock until tip-off. Boise State getting ready to take on Corban, the Corban Warriors. And a nice crowd, but not a huge crowd here at ExtraMile Arena, as this shouldn't be much of a game, but there are some things you'd like to see. You'd like to see some of the younger players get going. You'd like to see just good confidence, a good game, a good feel going into the Clemson matchup on Sunday. Alabama checks in at number 10. Alabama, number 10 in the college football playoff rankings. So you would have Alabama, Ole Miss, and Boise State on the road in the first round of the college football playoff. So you've got a pair of SEC teams with 2 losses there at number 10 and number 11 so far in the college football playoff rankings. Obviously, Alabama took it to LSU pretty good over the weekend. Hoping they speed this up a little bit. Miami is down to number 9. Miami is now number 9, so that's an interesting team to watch as well. They got the number 4 seed, so now all of a sudden Miami is the team Boise State's chasing to get that 4 seed as well. So that is a little bit interesting to me. Miami, I didn't know if they'd drop that far. Miami drops all the way to number 9. They do get the 4 seed as one of the highest-ranked conference champions, though. So the number 4 seed is Miami, and that's where Boise State would play if they win their game. Notre Dame comes in at number 9. Notre Dame gets the number 9 seed. So your 4 teams on the road in the opening round, Boise State, Notre Dame, Ole Miss, and Alabama. Tennessee is number 8. Tennessee is number 8. I believe Tennessee and Georgia play this week, so we'll see what happens with that. If Georgia were to win, Tennessee probably doesn't fall from 7 all the way out. I don't know what's going to happen there. But your first-round matchup would be Tennessee and Georgia if the tournament started today. We're waiting to get to that 5 seed to who Boise State would be, and then I got to get off the show here so we don't get in trouble due to contractual obligations. 7 is Tennessee. We'll see who the 6 seed is here. I'm guessing that's probably BYU. So they moved up a little bit. Yep, BYU gets the number 3 seed, but they are ranked number 6. So BYU almost loses to Utah and then moves up 3 spots in the rankings. So that's a pretty nice good job for BYU to move up in the rankings. I would assume Ohio State again is going to be there. By the way, I had someone in the student section. Quentin Robert is watching from Las Vegas. Appreciate you. Juan Aguilar watching from 5 feet away in the student section. Juan, wherever you're at, appreciate you for watching, Juan. Juan Aguilar is in the student section. Not bad. It's not full, but there's some students here. The student section I just looked over. It's not terrible. All right, the 5 seed. They're still unveiling the rankings here. The number 5 seed as Boise State takes the floor. The number 5 seed and the team that will be playing Boise State in the first round, if it started today, will be Indiana. Indiana moves up to the 5 seed, but they're in the 10-7 game. I forgot about that. They're in the 10-7 game because we already had 2 other teams get pulled to seeds 3 and 4 as the automatic qualifiers as the conference champions. So Indiana moves up to number 5 in the country, but they are the 7 seed in the bracket. So Indiana and Alabama would play if the tournament started today. I forgot that Indiana, there's a couple guaranteed spots there. So Tommy Nunez, our lead official, by the way. I know you guys are always interested in who the refs are. Tommy Nunez and 2 gentlemen that I have no idea who they are. All right, let's get back to the rankings here. Number 5 is Indiana. They are really, really milking this thing out, man. I know this is super exciting for you guys back at home watching this, the 687 of you. Penn State is the 4 seed. Penn State is the 4 seed, but they're the 6 seed in the bracket. So Penn State gets the 4 seed. Number 4, I guess, ranking. Penn State is ranked 4th. But they are the number 6 seed in the bracket due to some of these automatic qualifiers getting spots. So you would have Ole Miss at Penn State, Alabama at Indiana, Notre Dame at Tennessee. And then we'll see what happens here with teams 1, 2, and 3. We obviously haven't seen Oregon. We haven't seen Ohio State. Texas, number 3, they get the 2 seed. So Texas is the Big 12 champion, gets the number 2 seed. And then you'll have Boise State playing, I guess, either Ohio State or Oregon, whoever they project to win the conference. They'd be playing the other team there. So we got to jump off here. This game is getting ready to start. Appreciate you guys for watching. We're 2 minutes from tip-off. Flip over to the Mountain West Network. You can watch Boise State and Corban and Abe Jackson and I will be back post-game. We'll break it all down for you. And don't forget, 9 a.m. tomorrow, Brad Bedell will join me, and we'll really dive into these college football playoff rankings tomorrow at 9 a.m. Brad Bedell has some thoughts on this. He thinks there's a chance Boise State could get screwed here. So Brad Bedell joins me at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Abe Jackson will join me on the post-game show about 20 minutes after the game ends. We'll have all your reaction and things to the game and interviews with Leon Rice. Ohio State, again, is the number 2 overall team, but they would be the 5 seed and play Boise State according to this bracket. So appreciate you guys. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to Robbie back here behind me and all you guys that are watching. Enjoy the game on the Mountain West Network or if you're here in the building, and we'll talk to you guys afterwards. Bronco Nation News Live. Again, we're in the Western Collective Studios. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. Get those signature roofing voicemails in. We'll talk to you post-game.
Bronco Nation News is presented by rowpaint.com, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, by Lithia Ford, The Blue and Orange Store, Western Collective, by Jackson's, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, by Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and by Timberstone Golf Course.